In this video, I will talk about counting. Counting is a very important topic in discrete mathematics, but not only in discrete mathematics, but in other disciplines as well. Some people talk about that if we meet in 1 week, so in certain culture, it means that you count the number of weeks from Monday and until Sunday. So it means that we have 7 days. In other words, or in other cultures, when some people communicate with each other, they say that we meet in 1 week. It means that their meaning is that they start meeting from Sunday and meet until Sunday, next Sunday. So there are 8 days. So this is all about the counting. You start counting from different scenarios. Now look at the another example, and then we will talk about two very important topic in this counting. Imagine that we have a set A that contains some food, which is chicken noodle. Then we have, for example, cheese. And then we have cake, for example. And imagine that there is another set of some other salads, for example, Russian salad, and then we have cabbage, etc., or maybe some kind of another green salad, maybe green salad. Okay. Now, suppose you have been given a choice that in lunch, you get what you get. In lunch, you have the options to pick from set A or set B. So pick anything, pick from what you have to pick. You have to pick the food. Pick from set A or set B. So it means that you can pick chicken, you can select Russian salad. So if I take a union of that, then we get chicken, chicken noodle, not chicken, but chicken noodle. Then you have cheese, then you have cake, then you have Russian salad, then there is a green salad. So you can pick anything from these options. Okay, so how many options do you have from this? You have option number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can pick anything out of these, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So A union B gives us the option out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 options. So you have learned one very important thing over here that I will talk about later. Now look at another example. For example, at the dinner, at dinner, at dinner, we have the options to pick one food from set A and another from set B. You can pick any one. So you make, for example, one pair, that is chicken noodle, comma. Then you have Russian salad. You can pick this one, or you can pick, for example, cheese, and you can pick Russian salad. Then you can pick, for example, cake, then Russian salad, so on. Then you can pick chicken noodle, so on. It is a bit lengthy, but you will learn new thing over here. Chicken noodle and Russian salad, which we already did that. Chicken noodle and green salad. And then we have cheese. Then we have cheese, and we have green salad. Okay. I hope that we got all the options we have. So the first one is 1, then we have 2, then we have 3, then we have 4, then we have 5. There must be one other option as well, and that is coming from cake. Cake Russian salad is already done, which is here. Then cake green salad was left, I guess. Cake green salad. This must be boring for you, but you will learn a new thing, I guarantee. So here, what options do we have? Either you can pick this thing, that is 1. You can pick this one. This is your option number 2. This is your option number 3. This is your option number 4. This one is your option number 5. This one is your option number 6. So you can pick your dinner out of these 6 options. Okay. So how many options do we have? 6 options. How these options will be created? Mathematically, these will be created from your Cartesian product that we already discussed in some of the previous videos. So A cross B gives us the ordered pair. Now I want to get my choices, and ordered pairs are 6. Let me just generalize this for you. In the lunch, when we have number of options available to us in A union B, this is called a sum rule. This is called a sum rule. Okay. So we call that when we have many options, and remember that we do not have any common thing over here that should be empty. So this is called sum rule. Now look at another example on the right hand side, which is for dinner. And for dinner, we have, for example, A cross B, which is equal to 6. So for A cross B, if you just take a mod, which shows that the number of elements, then you should multiply the elements in A and multiply elements in B. But this is called the product rule. This is called the, maybe I just need to talk about sum rule again, but this is our product rule. This is called product rule. And here we have A union B. You can see that you get the value 5 by adding the number of elements in A plus and the number of elements in B. So it means that we have number of elements in A, which is 2, and number of elements in B we have, I'm sorry, number of elements in A is 3. This cake is not visible to me. So there are 3, and in elements in B we have 2. So total we have 5. So this is the formula, and this is the very famous thing in counting, which is called the sum rule. Then we have the product rule. So the sum rule says that A union B gives us A plus B. I repeat it over here again. And the product rules say that when you take a Cartesian product, then you have A dot B. Okay, this is called the famous sum and product rule. But remember that there are other rules as well. One rule is called the inclusion exclusion rule. Inclusion and exclusion rule. What happens in this rule is sometime you have in your sum rule some of the elements are repeated or they are in common. In that case, we have the sum rule that will be equal to a number of elements in A, number of elements in B, then we have A intersection B. This is called inclusion exclusion rule. When we have in union A intersection B is equal to empty, this inclusion exclusion rule becomes the sum rule. Similar to that, we also have a generalized product rule. Generalized product rule is a bit tricky, but we will talk about that. Generalized product rule. What this rule says that for some of the options in a pair, for example, x, y, this is Cartesian product. If we have x belong to A, then there are precisely different choices, n different choices. There are n different choices and different choices for y. In this case, total pairs are the number of elements in A multiplied with n. This is a bit different. I give you one example. Suppose you have 3 shirts, red, green, and blue. Suppose you have these 3 shirts, and for a red shirt you have 2, for example, options. For example, one tie, and then for example one bow, whatever that is, uh, tie, or maybe some other, for example, cap. And for green, for example, you have some other options. For green, you have bow, for example. Let me just talk about the bow. And then you have, for example, belt, some different belt. And for blue, you have jeans. You have jeans, and then you have a shirt, blue shirt. You have, for shirt you do not have a shirt. For blue shirt you should have some other stuff which is matching with your shirt. For example, that is dress pant. So it means that for all red, green, and blue, you have different options. For red, we have tie. For red, we have cap. Similarly, for green, we have bow. For green, we have belt. Similarly, for blue, we have jeans, dress, pairs, so on. So in this case, for such kind of elements, we have a number of elements in A multiplied with N, and N are the choices that we have over here. This is called the generalized product rule. So this was all about the counting. You can see examples in the book by Rosen. I started with example. I hope you got the point. Thank you for watching.